After 3 months back with his family, Lance Corporal Liam Smith is safe from the Taliban. He just doesn't know it. He's being treated by the NHS for severe post-traumatic stress disorder. His symptoms, even now, are barely controlled by a cocktail of antipsychotic and antidepressant drugs. He's not well enough to be interviewed.
He's still hearing voices, command auditory voices. He's still hallucinating, he's hyper alert, he's seeing shadows. He can't walk down the same street as somebody of ethnic race. When he's throwing cups at Afghanistans that aren't there in the house, and he's taping up the windows, you find him sat in his bedroom using blood as camouflage and hiding. It's been extremely difficult.
Liam Smith was 18 when he was first deployed to Afghanistan in 2007 with 2nd Battalion, the Mercian Regiment. He saw his best friend killed in a Taliban ambush. His platoon sergeant also died, and several other soldiers were seriously injured. His father says he came home changed. He was withdrawn, drinking heavily and very aggressive. But despite displaying ever-worsening symptoms of PTSD, Lance Corporal Smith was sent back to Afghanistan for 2 more tours in 2009 and 2011. The moment of Liam's breakdown endangered his own life and the lives of the soldiers with him. He tried to break out of a remote patrol base in Afghanistan wearing only shorts and flip-flops, looking to fight the Taliban with air freshener. His family maintain it should never have been allowed to get so bad.
A number of things have happened with Liam during the last 6 years where he's become aggressive. He's been drinking heavily, smashed his car up in the barracks, drunk. He's placed drugs on his countertop during an inspection to get kicked out of the army, and it's been brushed under the carpet. I think somebody should have took note. They have trim training that they boast about. They should have took note of this, and it should have been identified at a lot earlier stage.
The MOD won't be interviewed about Liam and say it is not appropriate to comment on individual cases. But they did say the mental health of personnel is a top priority, and we have robust systems in place to identify and treat those with mental health issues, including when deployed on operations. The Smith family lawyer disagrees. Hilary Meredith specialises in military cases. She believes the Army ignored Liam's symptoms and says even after his complete breakdown in Afghanistan, an Army doctor assessed him as being fine.
We do hear of a lot of people that have post-traumatic stress disorder or mental health problems and issues coming out of a war zone or a theatre of operations. But in Liam's case, it is so extreme that it really should have been picked up earlier and something should have been done. It should never have got this far down the line till he's on his 3rd tour of duty before these matters have eventually been taken seriously.
Glyn Smith doesn't believe his son's extreme symptoms are rare among British troops. He wants Liam's case to change the way the Army looks at soldiers' mental health.
It's a time bomb just waiting to explode. I mean, how can anybody go to war at the age of 18 years old, experience the kind of trauma that these guys are experiencing, and forget about it?
The family has been told Liam will be medically discharged from the Army, but they fear he's so ill that at just 23, a normal future is unlikely, if not impossible, for Liam.
So, Sue, the MOD won't talk about individual cases, but they are defending their approach towards mental health, aren't they?
Yes, they talk about the robust measures, they call them, that they've put in place, and that refers to things like the 24-hour helpline, which incidentally Liam's dad says that when he tried it, it wasn't 24, but the MOD would also refer to their TRIM programme, the trauma risk management procedure by which troops are trained to identify and then help colleagues who are clearly struggling, having witnessed or being part of a traumatic incident. And then they'd also point to the campaigns that they run, like last year's Bottle It Up campaign, where soldiers are encouraged to go and get help early if they're fearing their mental health.
And yet Liam Smith's family say there was nothing for him when he saw his best friend killed.
No, he was just 18 in 2007, and they say that he returned from that tour and wasn't offered counselling or indeed given decompression. And they then claim that the Army seemed to ignore Liam's worsening symptoms over the subsequent years.
So what do they hope to achieve from this?
Well, from the case, they hope that it will make it easier for Liam to be medically discharged with his name intact and no stigma. And they also hope that it will go some way to changing attitudes towards mental health at ground level among the troops' rank and file.